I had a weird dream last night that really scared the shit out of me, to be completely honest. Felt very lifelike and basically could not go to sleep after that. So I've been up for about 6 hours now, just contemplating my aura, my energy, and just trying to clear out whatever garbage came through during that dream. But I am here and I am present, and it is very good to see you all today. Okay. And that's okay, Di. If you're watching this on replay, I just appreciate you. You're so beautiful. Thank you for being such a beautiful light. Alrighty. So I figured that we would start with a little daily meditation, and then we'll go through there. I hope you guys brought your beverages, because it's going to be one of those where you're going to need to perk up for the morning. This is kind of a good way to start your day. Hot tea is a good thing to start your day with. Hot water with lemon. Coffee, if you need caffeine to survive. I know people drink soda for breakfast. It's a thing. So just thought I would just let you guys have your moment, and then I'm going to read us a devotion. If you are new to this channel and you've not experienced us in our rare forms, this is Spiritual Chatter Sunday for Melody of Spirit readings, etc. And what we do here is basically we just chat. We have a little chat for an hour. Sometimes it's about stuff that we've learned throughout the week. Other times it's random things that have popped in my head. Little stuff like that. So, oh, are you brushing your teeth? Come here, Bubba. My son's being so cute. Okay, I'm gonna get him his toothpaste. There you go, buddy.
I'm gonna do it.
I see.
A bit.
Please and thank you. Yep. Ah, there we go, Bubba. You ever have those kids who just love brushing their teeth? I have 3 of them. Here. Hey. Go and put this in the drawer, okay? It's fixed. Go and put it in there. Thank you, buddy. Alright, so I don't know if I've shown you guys this book. If I have, cool. If not, then the newer people can see this. But this is called Daily Meditations for the Turning Year. It's called Celtic Spirit by Caitlin Matthews, right there. Okay. And if you're new and you guys don't know who I am, my name's Gabrielle Williams, and I'm a deviation intuitive for Melody of Spirit readings, etc. There's many ways that you can support us, and many ways you guys can be a part of HAPS community. You guys can go ahead and click on the link and subscribe. You can be alerted when we come on live. I do have also a Facebook and YouTube page as well, which are also linked in my bio here on HAPS. And that's just how it all kind of just flows together. So we are very, very honored to have you guys all here with us this morning. It's so beautiful to see you guys. So we're going to read number, it's for July 18th. It's called The Perfect Partner. And this is a pretty interesting little tale here. So we're going to read about it, okay? I demanded a strange bride gift, such as no woman before me had asked of a man. A husband without meanness, without jealousy, and without fear. And this was by Tenbo. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but it's from an Irish text, basically. Here we go. In this quote, Queen Maeve of Canetta enunciates the qualities she seeks in a husband. She cannot choose a mean man or a mean husband, she says, because of her own generous nature. As long as a man is without fear, she is satisfied. She concludes that a jealous husband would not be of service to her either, since she is known for never being without one man in the shadow from another, meaning that her successful lovers might be seen as encumbrance to a jealous man. Encumbrance. There you go. Encumbrance. See, we're all learning bigger words today. So I'm guessing the other word, yeah, it's encumbrance. Okay. So, what are the qualities of a perfect partner? These will vary from person to person. The qualities that most people seek are loving, trust, faithfulness, and commitment. But in any relationship, we must determine the nature of the contract from the outset so as to avoid disappointment. If we later learn that our unspoken expectations are beyond the prospective partner's ability to fulfill, then we have only ourselves to blame for not making them clear enough earlier. The perfect partner is generally the one who complements our own qualities, not the one who is exact equivalent of ourselves. To an exact counterpart would become very boring in a few weeks. The difference in a relationship often prove to be its strengths, whether similarities can become the bones of contentment, especially if the competitive element enters the relationship. In the presence of an unhealthy competition, the mutual respect will soon fall to the wayside. And then there's like a little question here, and super, super sweet to think about. What are the qualities of a perfect partner according to your personal criteria? So usually I journal in the morning. So I have this, the way I do it is usually I get my journal, which I make sure is very pretty, so I know it is the only journal I'll be using. And so I know it from all the other journals, it looks different. So it helps me know that that's my morning ritual journal. And so for the last couple weeks, I've been using this meditation thing to kind of just sit and contemplate things that normally would be subconsciously just hanging around, which is really awesome. So I can finally dig that out and see what I really want in something, like for this perfect partner thing. Now, most of you guys already know that I'm married, and I love my husband unconditionally. What's funny is, I don't think he realizes this, but when I was younger, I had written a list of my perfect partner. Now, gradually, I did miss some spots, but I think that because me and my husband are so opposite, it really does help because he sees a perspective that I wouldn't have seen, and vice versa. We kind of complement each other in that way, like in the book says, having differences helps strengthen a relationship. And so there's moments where I'm more emotional than he is, and he's more my rock. And then there's sometimes where he's emotional, but he doesn't really show it, and I can feel it. And I'm also then his rock, and vice versa. So it's kind of a good balance between each other. Even though, like, if I didn't put that out to the universe, what I was looking for in a partner, I probably wouldn't have gotten what I've received. Not to mention created 3 beautiful children. Because that's all I wanted to do was be a mom at the time when I was still going through my journey and path and trying to figure out what exactly, besides what I really desired, was to help people. And so that's kind of a little backstory. But it's so really cool about this devotion right here is kind of, well, it's kind of a meditation more than a devotion, but um something to think about is like, what are you actually looking for in a partner?
Oh, mommy, let's get a monkey.
Oh, really?
And the monkey.
I don't have a key, Bubba. Not in here.
Monkey.
I don't have a key in here, Bubby. I'm sorry.
Backpack.
Your backpack's upstairs in your room.
I'm going to backpack.
Go get your backpack. It's in your room.
Whoa, let me hat.
You can wear it if you want to. Go ahead. Ronan, go on. Do you need help? Okay. Good job, buddy. High five. High five.
You got the mail?
No, not right now. I'm not getting the mail now. But thank you for asking.
Here's the key.
All right, well, go get the key, Pirate. Go get it.
Key.
Go get it, Pirate. Ronan. 1 second, guys. Hey. Silly boy. Yeah, that is a good book. All right, go ahead and hang out with
Halo.
Okay. Sorry, guys. They are up and about this morning. Kind of one of those mornings. But yeah. So let's see. And then normally, like after I go through this thought process, basically. So this is just something for you guys to think about from the devotion today, or the meditation, daily meditation. Is kind of just like, think about it. If you are not married or not in a relationship, or you're not in a binding contract relationship with somebody, write down the criteria of what you're looking for, your personal preferences, but make sure you put in the things that you subconsciously really desire. Because our words have power. Whether we like it or not, we were given the ability to create. We are all creators. Sometimes our intentions can be more towards a little bit glim, and then we see the side effects of what that is. But most of the time, we're putting out positive vibrations for those things to come into our lives. And so it's just a daily reminder to yourselves what exactly you actually want in a person. Make sure that you're also vibing at that frequency for that to come into your life as well. It's called manifestation. A lot of us have it down to pat, and some of us are still learning it, and that's something that eventually I'd like to talk about eventually. I'm not really sure how to describe it this morning because I'm technically a little bit sleep deprived, but I do think that it's something that if you want to, and you don't have to take my word for it, do some research. Do an experiment, if you will. Pick out something that you've been desperately like dreaming about for a long time and put it up on your wall and speak it into existence. That's coming to me this year, or in a couple months. I want this to happen. And those are just little things that you can do to kind of like research this on your own. Is this really going to work? Is it really beneficial for me to even try? Definitely something to look into. But yeah, go ahead and, write down exactly what you're wanting and put it on a board. You know those things called vision boards or dream boards? Have that on your wall so you can stare at it and speak love and light over it. Letting it know that it can come whenever and whatever signs to move forward in it. Let you be able to see what's happening and be able to move forward in it very quickly if the sign happens to move forward. So, something like that. But yeah, after this, I usually get a card. Lately, one of my good teachers, she had brought up this little experiment she wanted us to practice. And so, basically, I have a couple tarot card decks. And so, she basically told us to grab all of the major arcana cards, which there's like 22 in a package of 78 tarot cards. So there's 22 of these major arcana cards. And I put this in a plastic bag because I didn't want it to get ruined. I have kids. God willing, they would get into something. And so I went ahead and separated them. And then I also grabbed an oracle deck that I felt called and drawn to, which this is the one I've been really enjoying the energy from lately. It's the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. And this tarot deck here for the Major Arcana is the Ostara Tarot, and it's by 4 amazing Canadian artists and authors. They came together, a group of 4 women, and they basically each got a suit of the tarot cards, and they used their own interpretation of what that suit would be, and they're very beautiful, perfectly detailed, really kind of gives you a deeper feel of what they felt personally it represented to them. I love different perspectives, so some of these decks are just like, oh my goodness. But one of the cards that I'll probably just do it with you guys since we're up and about and chatting. So basically what I do is I shuffle my cards because it's just good to just give them a good cleanse, thanking them for allowing me to get a message of what's really going to go on for myself personally during the day. So my whole day will consist of this energy, and this is whatever card falls out or starts to, like, if I feel like I'm being told to stop, like here, I'll stop, and whatever's on the top is usually what they're wanting to give me. And so just depends on how your guides talk to you. Sometimes they're a little bit dramatic and everything falls on the floor. So the card for the day for me personally is the Star card. Now the Star card is usually hopes, dreams, all that jazz. And you can see right there. She's reaching out to catch it. She's going at Mach speed trying to grab that star. Now I'm going to read you some little bits about the star because I want you guys to really understand the card. I write down a lot of the meanings in a book sometimes. It's just good for my own personal practice just to have it on hand. I don't use my book normally for readings per se because I technically, when I'm in the zone, especially for people that allow me to be a part of their energy, it makes it really easy for me just to go ahead and I already kind of feel what they're trying to tell their significant other or vice versa. So basically the star means, the Star card here, it means hope, faith, purpose, renewal, spirituality, and then there is some ones when you kind of feel like your card's feeling like not as cheerful, and those ones are lack of faith, despair, self-trust, or disconnection. And those are usually just explaining, like, because you see the separation between her and the star, it kind of just gives you that depiction of there is a slight disconnect because she's going one way and the star's going the same direction, but it could change course at any time. And that's kind of what it's showing. Like, you're desperate or you're in despair because you haven't been able to catch it yet. Or self-trust, meaning you're having to trust in yourself more for your stuff to move forward. Renewal, maybe catching that hope or that faith or that purpose is going to help renew whatever has been lacking, such as lack of faith. Spirituality, sometimes a star is a symbolic for spirituality, and so that's something that it's just reminding you. It's most of these cards in tarot are basically just reminding you of things that you already know deep down's going on inside. Like for this card, for example, since I got this card this morning, this card for me personally feels like I'm back on track. I'm on my goal to do the purpose that I have been called to do. I am literally in grasp. And that's what I feel today. I do. I feel like allowing myself to go through do some meditation this morning around 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, actually 3 o'clock in the morning Central Time. Um, to kind of clear whatever was there that didn't belong was wonderful. And then being able to channel that message this morning, um, which I wrote on my post here on Haps and on Facebook and um, even on my website that I have. I just wanted to make sure everybody was able to grab it. Because I think that when we deal with a lot of stuff in our lives, especially when it comes to certain things we have no control over, there is a way for us to have control. And it's just that we didn't see that perspective before prior to everything moving forward. So it's just one of those things where, like, okay, back on track again. I've gotten myself aligned with what I believe. I'm standing firm in that declaration that I am protected by Source, and that my whole entire dwelling, whether it be emotionally, physical, spiritual, um, I should have added financial, but you can probably add that to your own version of it. Um, all of it energetically it's just speaking out into the world that whatever decided to try to latch itself onto me had no power. And I think Source was right about writing it the way I did write it, because they gave it to me like straight up. I felt like I was just flowing like a fucking river this morning. It was really good. It was really pretty and all inspiring. And if you get a chance, just go look on the post this morning. It came to me like at 4:04 in the morning. And then I drank some coffee, did some chores after my meditation and channeling that message, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a really good day. I'm feeling a really good day today. So, that is a really good card for me to have this morning, is that all my hopes and purpose and my faith in what I believe my truth is being called out. It's being spoken into existence. And then later today or throughout the day, I'll be able to write it in my journal. I usually write down what cards that I have pulled out. If you guys are new or just popping in, I'm kind of going over my daily ritual for the morning. Usually it's in the form of coffee or tea. And then I've been doing this devotion for the past couple weeks. It's kind of like a little daily meditation, The Celtic Spirit, by Caitlin Matthews. And we were going over a little clip in there, in case you guys aren't aware or haven't been following along. We went over a little segment where they were talking about perfect partner. And then I kind of give a little ad lib about that, and then started to show off like what I actually do in the morning, which is so nice. My kids actually are really good about letting me write this down usually, so it's not that terrible. But I personally went out and bought me a special journal to kind of like daily journal. Mostly it's for card pulls that I do for each day. And then I do my little clip that they have at the bottom of each of these daily meditations, and I put it in here, and I write my perspective of how I feel about that comment or that conversation that we were discussing in the devotion. And then I was telling everybody about one of my really good friends and teacher. She kind of helped me kind of understand how to do this for other people. She had this little homework assignment for us after like a little bit ago, and she's like, hey, I want you to grab all your major arcana cards, which there's 22 in a deck of tarot cards, And so I grabbed all of them like she told me to, and she's like, and then I want you to grab one thing of oracle cards, and I want you to pull one major arcana card for the day. So you shuffle them, give them a little love shuffle, and then whatever you pull out or whatever falls out, after you feel comfortable with how many times you shuffle, vice versa, then you just go ahead and pull it, and the day is going on the star card, which we kind of gave a brief definition here. But yeah, so after that, I usually write all these cards in my journal, and then I go ahead and I pull some cards from my oracle deck. And this gives me how my early morning is going to be, my middle of my day is going to be, and the end of my day. I do 3 card spread. So I pull, or 3 cards fall down, fall out of the deck. Just depends on what spirit is wanting to give me for wisdom or just clarification on what's going on with my higher self, vice versa. So that's kind of where that all goes. And then I write them all down, or I doodle. I like to draw. And then I, write out what that is and then go from there. It's really awesome to kind of have some self-care time, especially in the morning when you don't really feel like starting anything, but it really does help motivate your butt to move forward in things. So, like today, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has to tell me for my day. Like right here, we got 1. So we got beauty, so the butterfly. So early this morning is pretty accurate. I was focusing on the beauty of my home, the beauty of myself, the beauty of my family, my kids, my husband, just in retrospect of things. In the middle of my day, I'm going to have to deal with some trusting and believing in certain things to come to pass, trusting that things will get done on time, maybe even trusting that I will have the endurance to move forward today, in clarity and love and light. Even though this is a very rocky terrain, I'll still be grounded in love and light because I've been able to speak that over myself. My declaration is not passive, it is in action and fully in motion. And that's something that I have to continue to push forward in. And then I got the Queen, for the end of the day, which is basically women, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, and friendships. Now, you can read this any way you want, but the way that I see it for myself personally for the end of the day is that I feel like I've conquered something. Um, I've actually been growing more comfortable in my femininity, which is really funny that this card gets pulled out. I have more of I tend to lean towards my masculine side. And it's because I know I can protect myself that way. Um, for a long time when I was younger, I kind of straddled between protecting myself and being carefree. And lately I've been trying to let myself know it's okay to be comfortable, with myself, in a more feminine approach. Doesn't mean that I don't want to be a woman. I love being a woman. I think this is a really beautiful experience that I got to witness actually being a mother. So I've experienced fertility. So it's just more of a gratitude card for me personally. Being proud of who I am, the friendships that I've made, and see how comfortable she is on her throne. That's how I feel like I'm going to end the day. Definitely. So the card is definitely pointing in that direction for my end of the day. And see, it's really easy. This is the cool thing about deviation is that your higher self already kind of knows your little ins and outs, especially when you get more comfortable to call them in and have them be a part of your life. And so this is just a friendly reminder of what you already are experiencing. But it also helps you look forward to something for the day. Like, just because this major arcana card happens to be the overrounding perspective of major event going through my day, the little details are coming from the oracle cards. When normally these would be the wider spectrum, and this would usually be with the other tarot cards and kind of giving you more of a detailed perspective. Because oracle cards are normally just little small truths to speak to yourself. And that's just my personal practice opinion. A lot of other people have different opinions on it, but I feel like they're like a little mantra or a little word to kind of like spark inspiration for your day. That's, like I said, it's just my personal preference of how I feel about my deviation tools that I've been using for the past roughly 12 years. But I really do enjoy being able to kind of give that energy the intention that it deserves. Like, I'm always trying to be more positive towards everything around me. There were times where it was not as easy, and that's because we go through cycles. Everybody has a cycle that they go through, and it's usually because something has triggered it. It's made itself known, and it's up to you to actually say, hey, I am willing to hear you out. Perspective, let me know how this is going to go. Oh, and I also have a dream journal. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, I don't even remember my dreams. I don't dream at all. But there's some days where you might remember it, or you just might have dreams and goals, and that's what this journal is kind of representing. For me personally, it is my dreams. I have been having really wild dreams since I was a kid. Some of them have come into fruition, if you will. And so I like to keep a documentation. The last 2-3 years, I've actually been a little bit more diligent. Sometimes also when I'm meditating, if there's a message that I would not normally put into my actual devotional journal that I do every morning. I usually put it in here, and it kind of just helps me remember what I've gotten through and where how far I have gotten. What's really funny is most of the fears that I have, I've been able to surpass. I've been able to kind of realize that those are only temporary fears. They're not something that has to become a reality. I don't have to materialize them. And it's mostly just because when you have so many people you care about, especially if you're from a bigger family, or if you're craving quality relationships, you want everything to go smoothly. You want people to know that you love and appreciate them. And I think that even though we only get limited opportunities depending on who allows us to be a part of their world, it's always good to just try to continue being positive. It's not to say that you're not going to have a negative day. What happened? What happened, Ro? Well, go get it. Okay, Ronan, but be gentle, okay? Telling you, he's gonna be a pirate one day. That's what he keeps telling me. I'm a pirate. I'm looking for treasure. Arr. He's so sweet. I love him. He's only 2, so the pirate phase might end. I don't know. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. Even if you are going through a dark period, where you're contemplating things very internally, or it's showing up visually on your face, things that you're doing seem to be a little bit more erotic. It doesn't mean that you're being um, overzealous or you're not having these feelings for a reason. I personally feel that when we're having those discussions with ourselves, even if we don't have somebody to talk to, it's wise to write it down so that you know where it's stemming from. Like finding the root of that problem or getting a hold of where it's stemming from really does help heal those processes. And so, like, for example, maybe you didn't have a really good childhood, for example. And maybe the people in your life didn't give you the support you wanted or needed. And that could really kind of carry on for a long time in your life, especially when you just expect it of them. And so, and it could stem from your mother, your father, an aunt and uncle, a grandparent, your own siblings, maybe even a coworker or a boss, maybe a really, really, really close friend that you thought you guys were thick as thieves and more like family than ever. There's little bits and pieces of experiences that may have triggered something that you didn't know subconsciously was still bothering you. And it would stem back to childhood or a past life that you probably have experienced these things. So it's kind of like one of those things to just be mindful and understand that you are perfect. You are perfectly whole. You are perfectly wonderful. You're perfectly special and unique in your own way. You are wise beyond your years. You are kind-hearted and supportive. Your words that come from your mouth are of healing and love. They are not meant to cause scorn or discord. You know, little things like that, being able to speak your truth. You're passionate and confident in the way that most people maybe might not be yet because they're not fully healed or not really understanding the process of experience. When you go through certain experiences, you only get wiser because you learn what not to do next time. So yeah, little tidbits like that. It's beautiful. I think this is like a really beautiful turning point for a lot of people. At least lately, I think we've gotten to be able to spend time with ourselves, our families. Even though it's been through a lot of hell for a lot of people because they believed things that they had no way of seeing what it looked like. Or even thought about maybe even speaking against it to come into their lives. If it wasn't for their highest good or for the purest of intentions, or it wasn't going to be a blessing and it was meant for something harmful. I think that a lot of us, when we are going through a storm, we forget that we have all the equipment inside ourselves. We are a beacon of hope. We are a beacon of light. And even in the darkest storms, we can still shine and conquer. Yeah, a little treat for you guys. But yeah, so that's a little snippet of what I do in the morning. It's my little daily ritual. And I am really grateful that I've been blessed to be able to see it visually with the cards that I have. Even though intuitively or even subconsciously or consciously, I know exactly what is going on inside. I've gotten to the root of it. I see it. I understand it. I respect it. I am letting it go as quickly as I can. If I let it go too fast, it may not, it may come back. If I let it go at the right time, I know that if it does happen to cross my path, it won't be able to latch on. And if I let it go too slow, it may slightly materialize into something I don't want in my life. I don't want to be in fear. I think that's one thing that really is just, it's been on my heart lately. I don't want to live in fear. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys don't, if you guys have these thought processes, but this is just something that goes through my head a lot. Um, I sit here and I go through all the things that I definitely do not want to create. I don't want to create fear. I don't want to create hate. I don't want to create suffering. I don't want to create a place of um, discontentment. I These are just things that pop in my existence that I know if I let that become a weakness, then I wouldn't be able to thrive. Not just because I'm a Taurus, not just because my chart says that, not because of the cards that I pull every morning, but it's literally deep into my soul. I want there to be harmony in life and let that melody shine, regardless of what um, the outside world expects of us. We have the ability to be of the world, but or in the world but not of it. There we go. In the world but not of it. And I think that that's something we have to be reminded of sometimes. Especially since we go through so many different changes in our worlds um, that we have created. We all make certain choices that we were kind of bullied into, didn't realize that that was something we didn't want. And it's just you taking your power back. um Claiming back what was yours to begin with, like claiming back your dignity, your honor, um allowing yourself to be a thriving beacon of hope again, not being choked out from illusionary disillusions. They don't need to be in your existence because you are so amazing. um I'm not just saying this to you guys, I'm saying this to myself as well. I'm a mirror example and reflection of whoever happens to be a part of my streams, my daily life. If I go to the grocery store, I want to show them that just because they feel like they're the only one in that situation doesn't mean that they don't have somebody dealing with something similar. There's always somebody around you with the same similar energy that is going through the same stuff that you are. It may not look the same in retrospect, but it feels the same. Energetically, it will feel the same for them as much as it feels for you. And to show them what victory looks like on the other side, being an example, and showing light and letting them know there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You are going to thrive. You are going to move forward. It only helps them succeed. It shouldn't be a competition. It should be a cooperation. A co-oping existence. We don't have to be codependent on each other, but because we can be co-independent. So we're still be able to coexist with one another, but still be able to do our path, our choice of purpose. I know it's like a lot. I'm throwing a lot at you this morning. I do apologize. It's just a lot of things that have been going on in my mind lately. Like, if anything, I feel like we are all gifted with the ability to make this world a greater place. And it's not a bumper sticker or a slogan or a political um, farce, if you will, or an energy without an actual purpose or a, a discord of incontentment. It's just the fact that I have the highest level of respect and honor for the work that you guys have done. and I want you to succeed. Just as much as I want myself to succeed, I want my husband to succeed, I want my kids to succeed. I want their friends to succeed. I want their children to succeed. Just as much as our past ancestors succeeded through all their trials and tribulations. I want you guys to realize that you guys are just as much powerful and just as much strong and wise and courageous and have beautiful hearts, that if we just tapped into that potential, I feel that a lot of us would see a different side of ourselves and be like, this has always been me. Why was that hidden for so long? Maybe it wasn't hidden at all. Maybe it just was there waiting for you to say hi. Maybe for you to give it love and care and nourishment. And I have learned that in the last couple years, especially having 3 kids. Reevaluating stuff that I would have considered, I'll figure it out later, And eventually it turned into something different where I was like, you know what, instead of worrying about it, instead of like pretending like it's not going to happen, I'm going to speak exactly what I want to happen. I'm going to speak love and encouragement, but I'm also going to warn them of my experiences so they can understand the gravity of the choices that they may make. Or they may choose to not trust their intuition or not trust their gut. And that's something that I want them to feel comfortable in doing. Because I feel like when we go through our cycles of life, doesn't matter if it was past, present, or even our future selves, I feel that like there's a point where we take on the people that we trust the most, all their ideologies, and all of their experiences, especially since a lot of us tend to sort of feel like we are kind of similar to our parents or, our grandparents, whoever has raised you or has given you a beacon of light to move forward towards. Most of my experiences were pushed towards the church. And then getting pretty much, the royal not so great treatment of being in the church. Even though like you're trying to serve the Lord, there's bits and pieces of religion that get twisted, and they're not really based on anything but like a kind of like almost like a vampire sucking energy kind of thing, where they're not really for the people that they think that they're serving towards. I've experienced that multiple times. Past lives, this life. And it started to even show itself even more throughout my adult life. And I was just like, what am I doing wrong? And all I want to do is help. Little stuff like that. But where was I going with this? Yeah, this is like a deep TED talk, guys. But yeah, overall, I think that eventually, hypothetically speaking, people are going to see it. They're going to see the beauty that I see, other people see, that have been able to get to the level that they're at now. See how far they come. Give them that support if they need it. And allow them to choose their destiny. Choose their truth. And even if it doesn't if you don't have an agreement with it, or it doesn't make any sense to you why they promote that truth, remember that you might have been one of those people. It might have taken you a long time to get from point A to point B to point C, even to point Z if you go any further. Just a matter of giving them the understanding that you do see them, you understand them, you respect them. But if it isn't for your highest good, you have to let it go. You can't hold on to it and continue to turn it into something that it wasn't intentionally there for. Sometimes it's just a reminder. Sometimes it's a little shining example. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good layer of expertise there. Yeah. Like right here. I've had off and on, like this just happened and just popped on my screen. So I'm going to give you a rare example that I don't normally show. So me and my biological mother in this world currently, we've always been at ends with each other. And I learned that stemmed from, this is just me healing a bunch of stuff, but I've already healed it. I'm grateful that I've been able to get this far with the healing process. But it stemmed from her mother doing it to her, and her mother doing it to her mother, and vice versa. Like, it just went down the line. And as soon as I had my first child, it started again almost instantly. I didn't notice it until literally my kid turned 1 year old. What, sweet girl?
What broke down my Buzzy Beetle off?
Your Buzzy what up?
My Buzzy Beetle off.
Oh, your Buzzy Beetle? You opened the Buzzy Beetles?
And he spit it.
Okay, it's okay. Here, you know what? We'll take a deep breath. Do it. Take a deep breath. Okay. Now, I understand you're upset. Okay? And that was very mean of him, and I don't think he understood your feelings. But hey, look at me. Look at me. Hey. I appreciate you coming to me and letting me be that person to kind of give you some comfort. Okay? And I want you to go nicely, walk out there with your head held high and a big smile on your face. And I want you to go grab the beetles off the floor wherever he spilled them and say, "Hey, Ronan, can you help me pick this up, please?" Okay? Thank you, Em. It's something I'm trying to teach the kids too. I want my kids to see what a difference it is to look at things from a higher perspective. Because not every little thing that happens is center pointed on you. Like, it doesn't mean that you're the reason why, or like things are going wrong because you're not doing everything right. It's not all about you sometimes. Sometimes you're just in the pathway of somebody else's emotions, or their energy is not at their best. And they didn't realize that they were even remotely pushing it at you. They're just having that kind of a day. And I want my kids to know that too. I want them to understand that, and I want them to respect it. Because there's going to be a lot of people out there in the world that they may not truly understand why they're being the way they are. But they're going through their journey and their experience, and it may not be the same as theirs. But they can still be lovely and respect the people around them and do it from a healthier perspective. And not always in a mindset of people are all out to get me. And that's not the case. People are not out to get you all the time. Like, it may feel that way. Sometimes there are times where we have holes in our energy and things can come through. That's why we have these moments of speaking things over ourselves, speaking truth and kindness, and respectfully declining whatever energy doesn't belong in your system, healing the pieces that are broken, that you felt were broken, doesn't mean your soul's broken, just means pieces of your ego are broken. You just have to fix that. In order for you to continue and live in a very humble and gratifying life. This is just a bunch of rambling. I do apologize. I don't know if this is how you guys like your mornings. But sometimes I even call and talk to my family and we have conversations. My mom was always a big person believing in doing your own research. And so even though we did our own research, sometimes she didn't believe what the research that we had done for ourselves. And so we'd have to show the research straight up, like give references. You do this in college too. They make you do it all the time, especially with papers. Even when you're writing books, if you're putting quotes in there that are from other people's writings and stuff, they want you to put a little indentation of where is that from, who wrote it, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with the person who wrote this book here. She did the exact same thing, where she put a little snippet of, like, who said it, what book it's from, if it's from a old text, or if it's from an actual proverb. She just goes on and gives the representation that is needed for this book. She's being respectful of the energy that was given from older wisdom and then showing her perspective of things. It's a reoccurring theme with most of our history, that we've all gone through experiences. Okay, I think I'm going to end it here. Only because I think that I've probably blabbered on for far too long. But I just want to let you guys know that I am 100% totally full-heartedly grateful and just in honor of you guys even like showing up today. Thank you for waking up this morning. I hope this kind of gave you a perspective to look at. Maybe even brightened your day to see that you weren't the only person dealing with crazy drama. Or you may have had a bad dream too, or dealt with something that felt wrong and want to make it right. Oh, let's see. Hey, DJ. DJ, DDK. Woohoo! I don't have sound effects like everybody else, but it's good to see you. But yeah, to the 85 people and DJ DDK, I just want to let you guys know that you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for being a light in the darkness, that people have, still dealing with their own stuff. Thank you for showing them what a beautiful example of a healed person could be. Keep walking in your truth. Keep speaking your truth. If you don't understand what that means, it's basically just be true to yourself. What you feel is validated, until you find out where the root of it's coming from, and then respectfully, see if it changes your truth. The values that you actually believe in, what your soul believes in, what your higher self is beckoning you to understand. I just want you guys to know that I'm in your corner. I am giving you love and light from my end as much as I can. You guys are all in my prayers, and in my meditations every day. I'm always making sure that I am giving you guys 100%, if not more, when I am putting my intentions out there. I want the world to feel it. I want the universe to feel it. I want there to be this wave of unconditional love that just encompasses the galaxy. Doesn't matter what galaxy they're in. I want them to feel it on multiple galaxies. I want them to to feel the beacon of what true love is. It's not a fairy tale, folks. Love is literally the essence that we are striving towards. And then the higher we go, it turns into gratitude. It's not just about love. Love is the root of it, but gratitude and honor and support, those are the new fine lines that we are drawing. We're making bigger heights in that category. I want to nod and tilt my head to you. True love to me is music. Oh, I agree. It comes in forms of music. You can really feel somebody's true passion sometimes in a form of music, in art. The way they draw their art, you can see it. The way they write their poems, you can feel the trials and tribulations that led them to that understanding. I totally agree with you, TJ. Or DJ. DJ and TJ. Woo! Oh, and if TJ happens to pop on here, that little amazing blessing, he was so sweet this last week. You guys don't understand how much you guys mean to me. You have no idea. And I know I don't know you all, like, individually, but I really do 100% literally send love and healing and blessings and encouragement to you guys every single day. Like, you guys have no idea how much there's somebody all the way in the middle of the United States that really loves and respects you, regardless if there's not anybody in your corner currently. Just speak it into existence. Call in your family, your soul family. Call in your community. Call in your higher self and help them and have them help you lead you here where you need to be. You have a beautiful job to do, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see your creations flourish. I can't wait to see you guys strive to higher and amazing things. You guys are literally inspiring. I appreciate you guys. All right, I'm going to speak a small blessing over you guys, and then I'm going to close out, okay? Thank you, DJ DDK, for coming on and actually commenting. I appreciate it. It's good to see a commenter. Makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself. Even though there's so many eyeballs here, it's sometimes I just feel like I'm just vomiting information. But that's just me. Aw, DJ from Sydney. Aw. Thank you. I'm glad we know each other now. All right, guys, here's the blessing for the day. I'm just speaking truth over you guys. Okay, here we go. Okay. Source, thank you for being the guiding light that we all need, allowing us to move forward in the choices that we have to make today. Anything that is not in comprehension or has been compressed and is choosing to be released today, I just speak love over that situation. I speak peace over the people who may have to endure it. And I want them to just know that they are loved and respected for their feelings and for their mental states and their physical limitations, depending on what they're trying to heal currently in their lives. I speak peace over their hearts and minds as they move forward today. I want them to know that no matter where they're at in the world, they can still feel love from at least the corner of little old state of Missouri here in the United States. I know there's many other people in the world that are sending love and light to everybody on the planet. But if you happen to be on this video, I am sending it directly to you. Today, you are getting an extra boost of love and compassion and understanding. And I just speak peace and blessings over you, and that your light shines brighter than it has before, that you have a joy that just instantly puts a spring in your step and has you start your day with a beautiful light. May you be protected in Source's energy. May no harm come to anyone who watches the replay or has been on this live the whole time. Namaste. Blessed be.
Mommy.
Let it be. Amen. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If you want to share it with your friends, I have no problem with that at all. Let's see what else. We are having a drawing on the 8th, August 8th at 8 p.m. Central Time. And it's for a beautiful deck called The Enchanted Blossoms. It's an oracle deck of 44 cards by Carla Morrow, and it is an amazing deck. I think that it's really good for beginners who are starting their deviation tool process, getting a good perspective on the day. It's just one line sentence of like, or a word, and then it has a flower and a butterfly with a dragon built into it. That kind of just gives it a very mystical vibe. And it's free of charge, no shipping and handling costs billed to you at all. You guys are welcome to, go ahead, you can use that, to join it. All you have to do is type in the chat 88, and I will put your name in for the drawing. And yes, she's awesome. Yeah, so that is one of the PSAs. If you are wanting a private reading, I do deviation counseling, which we use cards, deviation tools, to kind of help you get a bigger perspective on what's going on in your world. And sometimes people just need somebody to talk to work out situations that would be more expensive with a therapist, or they don't feel comfortable with a therapist that they've been given. So I have that available on my website already here in the chat in case you guys want to check it out. I do regular readings, so it kind of levels itself out there, where you just do a basic general or love or job, finances, and I use tarot and or oracle cards for that. I do light language, if you guys know what that is. It's basically a unique form of tones that energetically can bring a lot of healing. Sometimes they can bring energetic inspiration, kind of like a battle cry, or sometimes it comes in the form of a song. Just depends on what you are wanting. I'll have to probably show an example of it maybe another time, but it's beautiful. I've started to kind of channel those. They come through as chants almost, and they're really beautiful. So that's the website right there in the chat. I have been trained in mediumship. I have been trained in channeling too. But it's something that your people on the other side have to be in agreement to be able to come through. And sometimes they come in and sometimes they don't. Some people think that they should just come in automatically, but sometimes they just want you to do your own thing. They are happy where they're at. Sometimes they're just protecting you on the outside, looking in kind of thing. Just depends on what their duty is now that they're back in spirit. But what else? Oh, and I also do, what else? Trying to remember everything. It's been a really long morning. Can't tell. let's see. Yes, I also do something I like to call soul map deviation, um, which basically we go through your chart, your astrology chart, um, and we go through every single piece of it for you to fully understand your soul, um, and kind of get a better idea of what your purpose is and why you're here. DJ, I'm trying to connect with my mom. Never seen for 20 years. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's going to be one that she may not want to be seen right now. But I could try a little bit, either in a private reading, we could try that out, and see if she wants to come through, DJ, or because sometimes people that have not really been around you, even though they are a part of you, sometimes they're kind of in limbo. That's just my personal experience. But we can definitely try to connect with her. I can't do it right now because like I said, I'm not in my 100% best right now. But how does that work? Well, basically, the website that I put up there on the chat, DJ, if you go to that site, you can do it through a deviation counseling thing, and we can go through there and do it from that angle. And you have the ability to get a recorded reading of that particularly. And what happens is I get permission from your higher self and your guides and family members that happen to be a part of your team. We agree on the energy exchange. And my mediumship's a little bit different than most people's. I usually get words or pictures of little things, or sometimes they'll actually give me a little message. They don't normally stay for too long unless they feel comfortable enough to say what they need to say, or if they feel like you're open to hear what they have to say. I try not to force mediumship. I want the spirits, or I want spirit to be able to kind of push that forward. But if it is something that you are trying to do and you're trying to get a hold of her, we can try it that way and see what happens. I feel like you have a lot to say to her. I don't feel like she has a lot to say to you. I'm the only one left on my side of the family. Is that enough? Yeah, that is enough. I'm guessing the rest of your family has passed that you know of. Yeah, that would be fine. There's really no limitation on that. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you have a lot more questions than she would have. I will let you know that you're kind of allowing me in without telling me yes to come in. But what I'm getting from them is that they're safe. They didn't die in pain. It was very quick. and they don't want you to feel alone. They want you to know that you have a big group of people on the other side that are protecting you. And you really just wanted to say goodbye. They hear you. And they are grateful that you wanted to give them a farewell. She's coming actually through, which is really interesting. Normally they don't come on here very often. Especially I'm not really like at my best. Like I said, I'm kind of sleep deprived and and caffeine high. But they're coming in. So she is just wanting to let you know she hears you. And she's grateful and honored that you would want to give her that final farewell. But she had heard you beforehand, inside your heart. She did hear you say goodbye. Coffee's a great thing, DJ. It's a great thing. Too much of it can be bad, but it's definitely in moderation. It's a great thing. But yeah, I think she just wants to give you that comfort that you're not alone. When you least expect it, or you feel like you are alone, you are protected and comforted with them on your side. What's really interesting is if she didn't come in as quickly as she did, I wouldn't say she's a part of your team, but she is, which is really awesome. So you do have a really awesome support team on your side spiritually. So that's really awesome. I know they weren't really a part of your life the way you wanted, but they would like the chance to be that way now. They've loved to see you grow up. They've been able to see a little bit of your past from being a part of your team. And she said she's very proud of you for the way you grew up, that you've made it this far. I found out about it from a stranger. Yeah, she figured that would be the case. She wasn't worried that you wouldn't get the message. Alrighty. DJ, I'm gonna let her, if you want to say goodbye again to her, you can talk to her at any time. I feel like she's really willing to hear you and to talk to you. All you have to do is just ask her to come in and you guys can have conversations. They may not be as verbal as you would like, but she is hearing and listening to you. Whenever you need somebody to give you a little nudge in the right direction, she's kind of like a guardian angel to you right now. So I hope that helps, DJ. I'm really sorry I can't do more today. But yeah, if you, honestly, that one would definitely not be a charge thing at all. You have the ability to hear them and listen to them, so just tune into them and see what they have to say. Sitting quietly and letting them come and give you images and talk to you, it's very awe-inspiring. It's very beautiful. So just give it a shot, see what happens. Alright guys, I love you guys so much. DJ, thank you for allowing me to be able to channel that for you. Oh, you're so sweet. But yes, if you guys want to have a private session that you have a recording on, that it gets emailed directly to you securely, and it's only open to you only. It doesn't get open to anybody else, just you. So that's always an awesome perk Your privacy is definitely my biggest deal. I know how people are about certain things. I want them to be able to feel safe and secure and comfortable in their environment. So what will happen if you're from another country or another city or state? I usually do a Zoom recording and I send it to you via email after the end of the session, usually about an hour or two after, because that's usually how much time it takes for Zoom to take the recording and putting it into their little area. And then I send a direct download to your email, and it's confidential, only your eyes only. It doesn't go any further than that. And you can watch it on your own time when you're needing to review what happened and to see if it goes to pass, or if you're just needing some encouragement from what we had discussed and you didn't really fully understand it. That's why I do the things like that. And that's for all of the things that I have on my website. I try to make sure that everybody gets that. But yeah, that's a little side thing there. If you want to see a little more detailed, there is a lot of details on the website, but if you want to see a little bit more of a variety of things that I do, Facebook has it as well. It is such a blessing to have you on here, DJ. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm going to probably take a nap today because I was dealing with clearing that out today. That was the biggest thing. I'm going to write this stuff in my journal, do my little early devotion, and write that perspective down. It's always good to start something to kind of help boost your day and boost your confidence. This is just one way I do it. There's many paths to it. This is just the one way I happen to do it. Love you guys so much. Have a blessed day, evening, afternoon, depending on where you're at. And I will talk to you guys another time. I am having a live on Tuesday for Facebook and YouTube. 1 a.m. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like almost 9 a.m. here, and it's only Sunday. Yeah, you guys are way ahead of us. Goodness. But yeah, it's for Facebook and YouTube. And that is at 9 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday. Every Tuesday. I've been trying to do it every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central. And then, of course, with our awesome TJ the Prodigy. TJ the Prodigy, he is an amazing and awe-inspiring educator, but also an edu-learner. He loves to learn new things, speak different perspectives. We do a community circle with him and his crew on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And if you guys would like to hang out there, just look up TJ, DA, and then Prodigy. And you can link up there and see when he goes live. It's all streamed through his stuff, so you'll be able to, I'll have it linked to my profile, but you won't get to see the full live until after on my page. But if you want to watch it on live, go to TJ's page and hang out with us. We would love to get your perspective. Viewers are all welcome to comment. We bring in all questions and perspectives from both the masculine and feminine side of things, kind of giving a good balance of different experiences, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm really grateful and honored to be a part of that team with him on those days, and I also have it linked in my website as well, so you can jump on to TJ's or my profile and subscribe to both of us if you like what we're talking about, or you just want to see what we're all about. But yeah, so I will see the people for Facebook and YouTube on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Central Time, and I'll I'll see that you Haps family and maybe YouTube and Facebook if it will let me record. I will see you guys on 6:30 on Wednesday. You guys have a beautiful night, day, morning.